Lizzie's very brave. I'm sure that episode of the spider was just a little slip. She didn't hesitate for a second when I suggested that we find the heart together. Lizzie's very brave. I'm sure that episode of the spider was just a little... She didn't hesitate for a second when I suggested that we find the heart together. Even though I'd much prefer to delay the encounter with whatever has cursed these woods, I'm certain that Esther is in that cave under the tree and there's no time to waste. Oh, now or never. Whatever is living in the cave under the tree, it's killed off all the trees close by. I've never seen such a gnarled, sickly tree before. Even Ivo's dad would have trouble getting that to blossom again. Whatever is living in the cave under the tree, it's killed off all the trees close. Only the tree directly above the cave entrance is... Well, okay then. I'll lead. Esther!
Well, 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 who have we here?
This isn't possible. The Archmage is dead. Who are you?
Yes, I'm dead, thanks to you. If you weren't so incompetent and stupid, I'd still be alive.
Enough! You're not the Archmage!
Wilbur, how can you say such a thing? I was your friend, and you didn't prevent my death.
Who are you really?
Silence!
Archmage Alistair and Remy were my friends! I forbid you to pretend they're here!
Don't you understand, Wilbur? We relied on you and you have abused our trust. You disappointed us and you will disappoint Gulliver, Timmy and the others too. You're just a stupid little boy who makes everything worse.
Rubbish. Don't listen to him, Wilbur. A spider?
Yes! I will suck you dry!
Stop! I know who you are!
And...
You're always whatever we're most afraid of.
I'm death, disease, loss, failure, humiliation. The monster under the bed. The creature in the cupboard.
Lizzie's afraid of spiders. Esther of the Paladin who once chopped her head off. And me? I don't want to make any mistakes and cause anything nasty to happen to my friends.
But you can't prevent it. Neither of you will leave this cave alive. And then I'll get your friends one by one.
You aren't real. Arrows and bolts just fly straight through you.
Nothing can harm me. You're lost desperately.
You only have power if we give it to you, right?
No, I am real. I will kill your friend.
Yeah? Go on then.
I will sink my fangs into your skull.
No, you won't! The spider isn't real, Lizzie!
I am. Fear is real.
It can only paralyze us if we let it! Why are you backing off? Are you gonna bite her or what?
Yes, why should I be scared of you if you can't do anything to me?
But what if I can? You can't be sure.
I'll take the risk.
You can't destroy me! I'm always here!
But we can control you. Everything okay?
Yes, I'm all right now.
Esther hasn't made a sound yet. I hope she's all right. And I hope she can walk. It'll be a long walk back if I had to carry her. A picture of a clown. Funny. A sad clown is art, everyone knows that, but this one here looks pretty normal to me. Even though I spent quite a bit of time in Seastone, I don't know much about fish. I'm a child of the mountains. I'm pretty sure that this must be a dolphin, though, as it wants to play with a swimmer. Someone once told me that dolphins weren't actually fish at all. They were actually birds, because they flew through the water with their wings, just like birds through the air. Might be something to that. A man waving at the observer in a friendly manner. He's wearing a name tag. Looks like his name is Claus. I don't get it. I don't like it when you really have to think to get the meaning of art. What is this Claus picture trying to tell us? All sorts of small stuff and a few pieces of clothing too. Yes, this thing fed off its victims' fear. It made them ill, perhaps even drove them mad. They were no longer able to think of anything else, didn't eat, and no one in the town knew what had happened. A little mirror, a flute, shoes, scarves, and there's a hair clip. Lots of little things, all mementos of the abducted villagers. I will talk to the mayor and offer to bring everything back to the village once I've freed Timmy from the curse and found the sorcerer's book. Pretty scary, eh?
Ooh, too right. What do you think it was?
A demon? A ghost? Some headless creature that only becomes powerful when we give it power? I believe that after the sorcerer died, the people in the village were so afraid something terrible would happen that this is exactly what did happen.
And if they hadn't been so afraid, they could all still be here.
My uncle was always afraid of becoming ill. That made him ill. And if you're afraid of dying, it can make you forget how to live. You know what I mean?
You're quite the philosopher, Wilbur Weathervane.
I've just been thinking a lot how it's better to do things and maybe fail than not to do things because you're too scared to fail. What are you going to do once this is over? Will you help me find the sorcerer's book?
That's your adventure. I've my own.
Oh, actually, I think we're a good match. Well, as partners, I mean. You know, as partners in adventure. Adventuring partners.
Oh, I think so too. Seastone in spring is supposed to be worth a visit.
Yeah, about that. At the moment, it's a police state run by a complete nutcase.
That could be lovely. It just depends on who you're with.
Esther, how are you doing?
He's going to cut my head off, and then I won't be able to look after Gulliver and Nate anymore.
Gulliver and Nate are fine. They're both waiting for you at the campfire.
Yes, for now, but the paladin wants to chop my head off, and who'll take care of them if that happens?
There is no paladin anymore, and there never was one in the first place. It was a kind of apparition sent to scare you.
No, I definitely saw him. He is out to get my family.
Look at me, Esther. There's no one here who wants to do you any harm. The ghost has disappeared.
He It's gone?
It's gone, and it won't come back.
He said that he was going to get Nate. As soon as he has chopped my head off, he was going to get my little boy.
It won't come to that. I'll explain, but not here. Let's join Nate and Gulliver by the nice warm fire, okay?
Yes, yes. Oh, thank you, Wilbur.
As soon as she takes Gulliver and Nate into her arms and knows that everything is okay, she'll forget this cave in no time. I know 2 people who are longing to see you, Esther.
And I know someone who owes us a sack of gold.
Come on, let's go.
So, there was never a curse?
That's right. No curse, no real threat. Only fear made it become a reality.
Oh, then I'll try to be more open-minded in the future and not always assume the worst.
You can start by welcoming my zombie friends into your village.
We'll see. At least I'll talk to them.
That would be good. If my memory serves me right, you promised a sack full of gold to the person who hunted down the Headless Horseman.
Of course, and you have earned it.
We earned it. You get half of this, Lizzie.
That won't be necessary. See you around.
Oh, yes. See you later.
I think she just, never mind.
Why did fear show itself to you in the form of a Headless Horseman?
Oh, my grandfather always used to tell me the story about a headless horseman. I was terribly scared of it, but it was still my favourite story.
And if there's enough hysteria, you'll believe anything, even that ghost stories are real. Now you know how to defend yourself against the curse. So could you please show me the way to the old Van Buren castle?
Oh, yeah, of course. You and the enchanting young lady.
Huh, and about time too.
I'd better draw myself a good map. I'm sure I'll be going back and forth between the castle and the village a few more times. My friends are here and Timmy is still somewhere in the woods.
Fine, let's go.
Thank you, Mr. Whale. I drew my path on the map very carefully. This way, we can always return to the village if necessary.
No need. I'll only leave the castle one more time, with a few crates of gold.
What do you mean?
This place sucks, don't you think?
The castle will blossom in your presence, just like me.
Laddie!
My moonshine.
You won't believe what I've been through. I need a bath this instant.
But of course, my love. Then perhaps a light dinner, and then let's just see what the evening holds in store.
Ahem.
Are you her servant?
No,
You can be my servant. My Igor died years ago. For good this time.
Actually, I wanted to...
Wipe your shoes, or you'll have to clean everything again.
But... here we go again. Nothing but weeds and trash everywhere you look. The Count really does need some urgent household support. Time to make myself useful as the new servant. On the other hand, I'm not the world's best gardener and should probably leave well alone. I'd say that coach hasn't moved a metre since old Van Buren's day. Several spokes are broken. Yes! Ooh, there's a small tree growing out of one of the seats. I wonder how many owners this castle had before Van Buren. Too bad it's so run down. Soon it'll be nothing but ruins. In an old building like this, falling masonry is probably an occupational hazard. Wonder if that's why the position of Igor was open. Stone's fairly flat, maybe some sort of roof tile. Ew! Big white maggots. Okay, if we must. Ew! Legend has it that a master builder was once hired to come up with a visually appealing way to divert water from the roofs of buildings. He thought to himself, why don't I put statues on the corners of the roof and let them get rid of water the way you, well, get rid of water? The idea with the peeing statues didn't meet much approval, and they forced him to change his design. He was very angry about the whole thing. That's why gargoyles today look like they're constantly throwing up. Doesn't look like rain, thankfully. A storm is the last thing I need in a place like this. The castle is way too big for one person. Why do all rich people always buy buildings like this and live in them all alone? As the rooms the Count uses are so dilapidated, I wonder what the others will look like. The chicken coop is in pretty much the same condition as the castle, skew whiff, and the roof leaks. A shallow water bowl for the chickens. Empty. The Count seems to like chickens. That's a good sign. Anyone who likes animals can't be a bad person. The chickens seem to be quite lively. They run, they peck. You could say they're poultry in motion. The Count seems to like them. They've no use for an empty bowl. Nasty statues. I saw them from the drawbridge. They look like a mixture of a man and bat. And it's almost as if, they watch you the whole time as you approach the castle. The Count and his young fiancée met through a newspaper ad, which means someone has to fight his way through the mountains on a regular basis. Just a single sealed scroll. To Count Vladimir Orlov, the Dark Woods. Oh, hey! The seal bears the sea stone coat of arms. Neither the drawbridge nor the portcullis were able to protect Van Buren against the mages, paladins and villagers who came for him. Maybe he was no longer at the height of his power. Otherwise, a sorcerer like him should be able to defend a castle like this easily.
Wilbur!
I knew I could find the way back from the castle. And I almost didn't fall into 2 crevices. Or the same one twice.
Well done.
Esther?
Yes?
That took it out of them, didn't it?
Yes. They have to recharge their batteries.
You should have a bit of a rest too, Wilbur. You must be exhausted. Do you want me to make you something to eat?
Oh, something to eat would be great. I've been hungry since we got here.
Then I'll make you a sausage. These are Timmy's favourite sausages. I wanted to surprise him with them tonight.
I will help him, Esther, I promise.
I know. Just be careful with the little fella.
As long as he's careful with me.
Ready. Careful. Hot.
Ow! Ooh! Ah! Thanks. Can I have another sausage?
But of course. This place is growing on me, you know. Now that the ghost stuff is all gone.
You're not a city zombie, are you?
People need to get used to us. Big cities always have a constant stream of new people to get to know. Here in the country, you only have to convince each person once that you don't want to chew the skin off their faces. Ready. Careful. Hot.
Ow! Ooh! Ah! Thanks. You look thoughtful.
I was just thinking about what a lucky woman I am. I've got a partner who loves me and a wonderful son. Everyone is healthy and we're all together. You only think about these things when something bad happens, or nearly happens.
I have these thick, slimy white maggots here.
Ah, I know those things. Had one of them stuck in my left nostril for 2 whole days when my head was chopped off.
I thought maybe you could fry them.
Is there something wrong with my sausages?
No, I just need light-coloured meat for a salad.
As long as I don't have to eat them. Give them here. That was the
Ooh, those don't look too bad at all. Thank you. See you later, Esther. I have to go.
Bye.
Yeah, I'll let her get some rest. That was probably the hardest day. Like father, like son. They deserve some rest after the last few days. I have a long trip home ahead of me once I get that book from the chest. I don't know whether any of the others will join me. I'm sure they all would if I asked them. But things could get dangerous in Seastone, and I don't want any of them getting hurt. The fire's still burning brightly. Esther won't let it go out all night, that's for sure. Ah, I needed that. A few hours sleep would be lovely too. But first, I have to get that book. I have these thick, slimy...
Ah, I know those. That was...
Ooh, thank... Yeah. I half expected the sun to come out and everything here to bloom once I defeated the fear. That would be the perfect house for Esther, Gulliver and Nate. The three would bring life back to the village. Or, something along those lines anyway. Maybe the villagers wouldn't have been so easily frightened if it weren't so creepy around here. The whole area is famous for its ghost stories. Maybe the villagers wouldn't... Mr. Whale looks less anxious and stressed, even with the big task ahead of him, filling the village with life again. Hello, Mr. Mayor.
Hello, Mr.
And? How's life without fear?
Oh, it feels good. I've finally got time to recruit new inhabitants for the village.
Glad to hear it.
I thought about putting an ad in the paper. Somberville. Deserted village in cursed region seeks citizens to occupy houses of previously abducted and murdered villagers. How does that sound?
I don't know. My friends up at the campfire could move into one of the houses. They're very nice, and Gulliver and Nate are skilled craftsmen. They could get the village back into shape in no time.
I don't think that we want their type here.
But that's unfair. Just imagine that you're a family man and have never done anything wrong in your entire life. You and your wife have always worked hard, you have a great son, and then you come to a village that's urgently looking for residents.
Yes, but they're zombies.
So what? Imagine a zombie village that doesn't want you and your wife and child because you're different. What would you think of people like that, huh?
Well, you can't really... I suppose I could talk to your friends.
You do that. I think I'll be going now.
Oh, how's Miss Kiki? Has she sunk her claws in the count yet?
What do you mean by that?
Oh, come on, Wilbur. A hottie like Miss Kiki? She's just a gold digger. The Count will need to watch his back.
But they love one another. They met through a newspaper ad, and it's not very nice to think that of other people, Mr. Whale. Tut tut. I have nothing to ask. Should I buy a souvenir? No. My pockets are always so full of junk anyway. Hello? Must have been mistaken. Maybe the villagers wouldn't have been so... Yeah, I'll let her get some rest. That was probably the hardest day for her. Yeah, I'll let her get... Half-burnt wood, ash, and bits of charcoal beside the fire. We should put things in order here before we leave. Oh, fine. Lovely. A small wood stove like that can't even begin to heat such a huge building. Here in the hallway, it's exactly the same temperature as outside. This stove reminds me of the one in my classroom in Seastone. It had a broken pipe too, and it was pretty useless. However, this one looks less pleasant. Ooh, scary people. I can't tell if these are relatives of the sorcerer or the count. The only certainty is that these are some of the creepiest faces I have ever seen. But they look somehow generous. Ooh, scary people. I can't tell if these are relatives of the sorcerer or the count. The only certainty is that these are some of the creepiest faces I have ever seen. But they look somehow generous. Ooh, scary people. I can't tell if these are relatives of the sorcerer or the count. The only certainty is that these are some of the creepiest faces I have ever seen. But they look somehow generous. How many candles must have burned here to leave a pile of wax that big? Or are those magic candles that have been burning for decades? Ah, if I need a load of candle wax, I know where I can find it. From the outside, it looks as though the castle has at least 5 or 6 floors. And old castles often have cellars and dungeons too. Judging from the outside, I'd say at least 5 or 6. And old castles like this one often have cellars and dungeons too. A lot of work for just one Igor. The only footprints on the dusty stairs are from Miss Kiki. Doesn't Count Orlov ever visit the upper floors? Does the Count stay down here the whole time? I should have a look around down here. The only footprints on the dusty stairs. Does the Count... The stairs don't just lead upwards, they also go down into an impenetrable blackness. Dungeons, tombs, all kinds of things that I don't want anything to do with could be down there. The stairs don't just lead upwards, they also go down into an impenetrable blackness. Dungeons, tombs... Hard to believe how high the ceiling is in this hall. The chandelier chains disappear into the gloom.
Ah, there you are, Igor. Prepare dinner for my fiancée. And set the table with all the trimmings. We want to have a romantic meal before withdrawing.
My name's Wilbur.
My servants are all called Igor. Igor, his father Igor, his grandfather Igor, and his father too.
Oh, you certainly had a lot of servants.
That's why it's too late now to get used to a new name. I'll call you Igor. I would even give you Igor's old suit, if I had it.
Do you know much about werewolves?
Not particularly. Us and them, we don't get on. Normal wolves, yes. They're the children of the night, and I like standing on the balcony of an evening, listening to them singing. But werewolves, poor souls that have been cursed and can feel nothing but primitive anger and hate.
Is there any way to get rid of the curse?
Of course, quite easily. You have to kill the werewolf that cursed you in the first place.
And if you don't know who it was?
Then you can only hope that a friend pumps your head full of silver.
No way! What was it with Igor and his uniform?
Your predecessor, Igor, made himself at home in the cellar, Igor. He had a bed, a desk, all his belongings. I think now you're the new Igor. It is all yours.
And Igor's uniform?
It will be amongst his things. Go and have a look. But be careful. It's dark down there.
I could take a candle.
I don't think that's a very good idea. They are attracted to light.
They?
Things that live in the darkness. Igor had due respect for them, and never dared go down there with a light.
Perhaps the uniform isn't important after all. Are you sure your fiancé, is being honest with you?
We'll find out tonight, won't we?
I don't want to spread any rumors, but Mr. Whale from the village, he thinks Miss Kiki might possibly be after something other than love.
Oh, so am I.
Yes, but I don't mean friendship and care.
She won't be the first Mrs. Orlov, Igor, and probably not the last. I know who she is and know how to handle her.
All right, then. The poor Count. He thinks he knows her and believes she loves him. And what may I serve you and the young Miss Kiki?
For the young lady, a rocket salad with vinegar, oil, and strips of chicken breast. That's what young ladies eat these days. Nothing for me, thank you.
Not even a little bite?
Maybe later. Until then, I'll make do with a glass of red wine.
As you wish, Master. I'll go and find the chef and order the salad.
I don't have a chef. I normally order out.
But I can't cook.
How hard can it be to make a salad with vinegar and oil? Make haste, Igor.
Very well. Count Orlov, Master. I saved your fiancée in the forest. She was thrown from a horse and lost her way.
The poor child. What luck that nothing happened to her. I've been waiting for her for so long.
I heard you've been married a few times.
Many times. Unfortunately, I've never grown old with any of my lovers. I am cursed. I'm forced to try again every few years with a new young woman.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm really sorry. The villagers told me that the mad sorcerer Ashcroft Van Buren used to live here.
That is correct, until he was hung, drawn, and quartered. The wizards and paladins didn't do things by halves, just quarters. They took everything that was of interest or value to them. They left the rest here.
Was there a book amongst the things left behind?
The Sorcerer's Diary. Yes, I found that a few months after I moved in a secret desk drawer.
No, I mean, more of a magic book, you know, with incantations and such.
No, not that I know of.
Master, this scroll was in the postbox.
From Seastone. Archmage murdered. Wanted, blah, blah. Nothing of any importance.
Are you sure?
I'm not interested in politics. Kings and archmages come and go.
Yes, you're right. No reason to burden yourself with such things. There's a picture of the Archmage and me on the cover. Even if the Count isn't interested in politics, he's not likely to let a wanted murderer work for him. He would hand me over to the Van Burens if he noticed. If you'll excuse me, Master, work calls.
Make haste. My little honey bunny has gone upstairs to take a bath and could come back down at any minute.
What is upstairs?
Nothing of interest to you. Your place is down here. And tomorrow I'll show you the cellar and the crypt.
I can hardly wait.
Let's talk more work, Igor.
The Count seems to be a wine lover. Red wine, to be exact. Seems to me the Count doesn't need a servant for his wine. He refills the glass himself. The Count seems to be a... Luckily, the scroll rolled itself back up. Otherwise, the Count may have spotted that his new Igor is wanted for murder. The council leader must have sent these search warrants everywhere. I hope one didn't make it here. I'll have to be careful. I don't want to go back to Seastone in chains. I find it odd that Count Olaf bought a castle in the dark woods. Most old people love the heat and the sun. There's not a lot of either here. Maybe he burns easily. I think I should get on with my job. The Count does... Are these just decorative plates, or can they be used? Nate once ate fried potatoes off of the Queen's face in Elfborough. Ivo's mother was not amused.
Igor, be more careful.
I didn't do anything. The plate just flew off the wall.
I've lived here for 10 years. Castle Orlofstein has never been haunted.
Weird. Incense? Not something I really expected to find in a place this old. On the other hand, maybe the Count also noticed that it sometimes smells a little mouldy and musty in here. Incense? Not something I really expected to find in a place this old. On the other hand, maybe the Count also noticed that it sometimes smells a little mouldy and musty in here. Incense? Not on the other... Cutlery. No, nothing of interest. Not bad, but something is... Not bad, but... Excellent meat, and it even almost looks like chicken. So, now I have the chicken breast. All I need is the rocket and the dressing. I'm pretty sure this is something similar to rocket. Except for the lack of dressing, that already looks quite tasty. The emphasis being all that's missing is the oil and vinegar. I think the Count expects a finer layout to impress his fiancée. A lovely glass with a thick bottom. Glasses made of perfect transparent glass like this are very rare and expensive. What's this cord for?
You can make various bells in the castle ring by pulling it.
But there's only one cord.
Who needs more?
Ooh, the space here isn't just brighter and friendlier than the entrance hall. All the candles make it a lot warmer too. Not bad. Except for the... Oh, this... You can see...